At Christmas morning, my daughter looked at me and asked, "Did Santa forget me?" My sister laughed and said, "Santa only brings presents for real family." Everyone thought it was hilarious. I didn't. I pulled out my phone, made one move, and when they opened their phones they started screaming. I'll never forget the look on Lily's face that Christmas morning. She was sitting on the floor in her reindeer pajamas, hands folded in her lap, just quietly watching as the rest of the kids ripped through their gifts with squeals and laughter. My niece got a bike. My nephew was holding a new Nintendo Switch. Wrapping paper was flying everywhere. But there was nothing for Lily. She didn't cry. She didn't throw a fit. He just watched. I saw her eyes move from cousin to cousin, from the pile of gifts under the tree to the empty spot in front of her. And then she looked at me and asked it like she was trying not to make it a big deal. "Did Santa forget me?" I didn't know what to say. My brain kind of short-circuited. And then Amanda laughed. Loud, exaggerated, and fake, like she wanted everyone in the room to hear her. She waved her hand and said it like she was making a joke. "Santa only brings presents for real family." I blinked. At first I thought I misheard her. But then I saw my mom smile. My dad chuckled. Amanda's husband actually high-fived my brother-in-law like it was some kind of punchline. I looked at all of them. No one seemed shocked. No one said a word to stop her. They were in on it. That's when it clicked. This wasn't some oversight. This wasn't a mistake. Amanda had planned it. She had actually convinced my parents not to include Lily in the gift exchange. Not one present. Not a stocking. Not even a candy cane with her name on it. Because Lily is adopted. She joined our family 3 years ago. I adopted her alone, no partner, no fanfare. She was 5 when I brought her home. And ever since then Amanda's been joking that she's not a real cousin, not real blood, not family. I always brushed it off. I kept the peace. I told myself Amanda was just bitter or jealous, or stuck in her own miserable bubble. But this was something else. This was cruel. I stood up, walked into the hallway, pulled out my phone and opened the airline app. No drama. No raised voices. Just a couple taps. 6 tickets. Cancelled. Resort in Florida, oceanfront rooms, family-friendly activities, meals included. A trip I paid for because no one else could afford it, but everyone still expected it. Gone. I walked back into the room and sat beside Lily. I asked her if she wanted to go get hot chocolate. She nodded. So we left. Quietly. No one even noticed we were gone. But later that night they did. The notifications started coming in around 7:30. First from my dad, then Amanda. Then her husband. At first it was just confusion. Did something happen to the flight? Is the reservation still under your name? Can you check? By 8 o'clock it was full-blown panic. The resort was sold out. No backups. No rebooking. No refunds. Everyone had taken time off work. They had been counting down for months. And now just like that it was off. Amanda sent me a voice message. She sounded pissed. She asked what happened and demanded I fix it. I didn't reply. I just sent a message back. Santa only brings trips for real family. And I put my phone down. The next morning I woke up to 37 notifications. Missed calls, texts, voicemails, a few unhinged paragraphs from Amanda, and, just to make things even more pathetic, a Facebook message from my mom with a frowny face emoji. I didn't open any of it. Lily woke up asking if Santa might have accidentally left her presents at our house instead. I told her maybe he just got a little turned around this year, but that we'd sort it out together. I took her to her favorite little diner on the corner, just the 2 of us, and we got chocolate chip pancakes and peppermint hot chocolate with extra whipped cream. She smiled. That was enough for me. When we got home we had a quiet day. We painted. I gave her the big art set I had hidden away, the one I'd originally planned to give her that night after dinner, just the 2 of us. I didn't want her to feel left out earlier in the morning, so I waited. And now, honestly, it was better this way. While we mixed paint and listened to Christmas songs, my phone kept vibrating on the kitchen counter. The family group chat was blowing up. At some point my mom sent a voice message. I played it on speaker. She actually said, "Ashley, I hope you're proud of yourself. You ruined Christmas. Amanda's kids are devastated. Your father and I don't even know what to say to them." I wanted to throw the phone across the room. Not one word about Lily. Not a single mention of what they did to her. They were acting like they were the victims, because the trip was cancelled. At this point none of them realized it had been me. They thought something went wrong with the airline. Amanda texted me a screenshot showing the cancellation notice. She asked if I'd been hacked. Said I needed to call and straighten it out. Then she tagged me in an Instagram story. It was a photo of her kids holding their new gifts with the caption, "Some of us still know what family means." I didn't reply. I just took Lily outside and we went sledding until it got dark. It wasn't until 2 days later that Amanda finally called me directly. I picked up because I wanted her to hear me. She started in immediately. The kids were crying, the resort wouldn't take them back. Everything was sold out for New Year's and they'd all taken time off. She said they'd been planning this for months, that I owed it to everyone to fix the mistake. I told her it wasn't a mistake. Cancelled the trip. On purpose. There was this weird silence and then she asked what the hell I was talking about. So I laid it out for her. She humiliated my daughter in front of the whole family. She made her feel like she didn't belong. Then she laughed about it. Everyone went along with it. And not one of them thought they'd face consequences. They thought they'd still go on the vacation I paid for, enjoy the beach, sip cocktails by the pool, while my daughter sat there thinking she wasn't enough to deserve even a stocking. Amanda said I was being dramatic. That it was just a joke. That Lily wouldn't even remember it in a few years. Said good. Then she can forget all about you. I hung up. That night I blocked Amanda, my parents and my brother-in-law from everything. Group chat, airline account, even the resort booking portal. I deleted their traveler profiles and changed my password. I checked the charges, non-refundable of course, but it didn't matter. It was worth it. Lily and I stayed up late building her new Lego set. She said she was glad it was just the two of us this year. And that's when I knew. I wasn't going on that trip. Not now. Not ever. If they wanted to act like we weren't family, fine. That door was finally closed. They had no idea what was coming next. New Year's came and went like we never existed. No call. No Happy New Year. No pictures, no texts. My parents didn't check in. Amanda didn't reach out. It was radio silence, which would have been fine, even welcome if I didn't already know what that silence meant. They were trying to punish me for what I did. In their minds, I had ruined everything. Not just the trip but the holidays. The power trip I'd taken from them. That's what they were really mad about. They couldn't control the situation and for once they were the ones left out. I half expected the silence. What I didn't expect was what they did next. January 3rd. The day everyone was supposed to fly out for the big trip. I woke up to a quiet morning, made breakfast for Lily, then went to take out the trash. That's when I noticed it. My car looked strange from the back. I walked up to it and just stood there. All 4 tires had been slashed. Not popped. Flashed. Knife clean cuts deep. Whoever did it wanted to make a point. At first I froze like maybe I was overreacting. Maybe it was a freak accident. But then I saw the footprints in the snow, leading from the street, circling the car and heading back to the curb. Someone had parked, done it and left. Intentionally. About 10 minutes later my neighbor Tim came over. He said he'd seen a dark SUV parked outside my house at around 4 a.m. headlights off. He couldn't make out who was inside, but he was sure it was Amanda's husband's car. That was the moment it stopped being a prank and started being something else. And just in case I needed more proof, I got it. At 9:14 a.m. I received a text from a random number. Maybe next time you won't screw over your own family. No name. No signature. But I didn't need one. They'd all been planning to leave that day. Flights they couldn't board. A vacation they couldn't take. And since I had the nerve to take that away from them, while they took Christmas away from Lily, they decided to get even. I sat at my kitchen table with the phone in one hand and the police department's non-emergency number in the other. For a second I hesitated. Not because I was scared but because I could already hear my mother's voice in my head. It was just a joke, Ashley. Don't take everything so seriously. But this wasn't a joke. This was targeted. Malicious. Deliberate. So I made the call. The officer who came out took it seriously. I showed him the tires, the footprints, the text. Tim gave a statement about the SUV. I told them straight, I believed my sister was behind it. I explained the history, the Christmas stunt, the fallout, the cancelled trip, all of it. And when they asked if I had any evidence linking her to the phone, I told them to go talk to her. They did. Amanda tried to play it cool. Told them I was just bitter. Claimed she'd been asleep, said her husband was home the whole night. But that's when things started unraveling. Because Amanda's not clever. She's smug. And smug people get sloppy. Turns out the prepaid phone that sent me the message was bought with a debit card. Hers. Police pulled the records. It was purchased at a gas station 2 towns over. Same night. Surveillance footage put her at the register. They brought her in again. This time she wasn't laughing. She was charged with misdemeanor property damage and harassment. Her husband didn't get charged, but now his name's in a report. And Amanda? Community service, court fees, and a very awkward visit to a courthouse where her own smugness finally stopped working. That same night my mom left me a voicemail. I still have it saved. She sounded half panicked, half scolding. Said she couldn't believe I would get my own sister in trouble. Called it a dumb prank gone wrong, and said I was tearing the family apart. I sat there and listened to it all the way through while Lily fell asleep on the couch next to me. She didn't mention Lily. Not once. She wasn't sorry. None of them were. That's when it hit me. I hadn't broken the family. I had just stopped pretending the damage wasn't already there. They were the ones who cut me out. First emotionally, now literally. So I decided something right then. No more explanations. No more being the bigger person. No more free vacations. No more quiet forgiveness. No more paying for their mistakes. If they wanted to cross the line, then they'd better learn what it feels like when someone draws one for real. And I wasn't done drawing. 2 days after Amanda got slapped with charges, my parents showed up at my front door. No heads up. No, can we talk? Just pulled into my driveway like nothing had happened. My mom had a tin of cookies in her hand like that was supposed to reset the clock. Lily saw them before I could say no and waved through the window, so I opened the door. I didn't want to, but I did. They weren't there to apologize. The first thing out of my mom's mouth was, "Let's not drag this out any longer. It's family." She didn't mention Lily. She didn't mention the Christmas morning where my daughter sat in silence while everyone else opened gifts. She didn't ask how I'd been, how Lily was doing, how I was holding up after Amanda had someone slash my tires. No, she jumped right to Amanda. Said she was going through a rough time, and that I needed to be the bigger person. That calling the cops had made things a lot worse than it needed to be. That Amanda was embarrassed now. I asked if she thought what Amanda did was wrong. My mom didn't even answer. She looked away like she hadn't heard the question. My dad was standing behind her, hands in his jacket pockets. Didn't say a word. Not one. Then my mom asked the real question, the one they actually came for. "You're not going to stop helping with the house, right?" I just stared at her. I'd been paying their utilities for over 2 years. Internet, trash pickup, electric, gas, even property taxes once when they were short and didn't tell me until the last minute. I paid it all quietly, never asked for anything in return. And they stood there barely pretending to care what Amanda did to me and my daughter, and had the nerve to ask if I was still going to keep the lights on for them. I said one thing. "It's already done." At first she didn't get it. I explained. I'd logged into every account the night before and canceled everything. Payments? Stopped. Services? Ending within the next billing cycle. They'd get the letters in the mail soon enough. Trash pickup would stop first. Then water. Then the rest. I even unlinked my card from the property tax account. They were on their own now. My mom went quiet. Not shocked. Just silent. Like maybe for the first time she realized I wasn't bluffing. They left a minute later. No hug. No goodbye. My dad muttered something like, "We'll figure it out," but they were already halfway down the walkway. That night I thought that would be it. But the next day I got a strange call. It was from the resort. A woman named Kendra from guest services. She said someone had called claiming to be me, trying to reinstate the reservation I'd cancelled. The card they used didn't go through. Then they tried to switch the name on the booking to Amanda's, saying I'd approved it but forgot to confirm. They even used my rewards account. Kendra said it didn't sit right. She flagged the account and wanted to check with me directly. I told her to freeze everything and escalate it to legal. Amanda had tried to steal the trip. Not just rebook it. She was hoping to push it through while pretending I'd okayed it, maybe hoping I wouldn't notice until it was too late. Maybe hoping she could guilt me into going along with it once the reservation was back. Instead, I emailed Kendra a copy of the police report, screenshots of the threatening text, and the report number from the tire incident. I made it crystal clear. My sister was never to be allowed to book anything under my name again. Ever. I didn't hear back from Amanda after that. But I didn't need to. I knew that call had sent shockwaves through her little plan. Later that night, Lily came to sit next to me while I was looking at flights. She asked if we were still going to go on vacation. I told her not only were we going, we were picking the place ourselves this time. No tag-alongs. No pretending. No being left out. She grinned and asked if we could have a room with a view of the ocean and pancakes at night. I said absolutely. Because that's what real family does. We don't exclude. We don't lie. And we sure as hell don't cut each other's tires over a cancelled trip they didn't even pay for. The real surprise here wasn't what they did to me. It was that they honestly thought I'd still come back from it. They thought I'd still foot the bill. But I'd already paid enough. By mid-January the silence turned into something else. No one had reached out in over a week. No apology, no attempt at a conversation. Just this weird, tense absence. It wasn't peace. It felt more like a family group chat where everyone had left, but no one had deleted it yet. There was nothing left to say but too much left unsaid. Lily and I had already booked our trip by then. 10 days, oceanfront, 2 flights booked with points, and I upgraded our room just because I could. I let her pick the destination. She chose a place with a lazy river and pink umbrellas. That was her only requirement. Meanwhile, my Aunt Diane started filling me in on what was happening behind the scenes. First came Amanda's mess. Her court hearing was confirmed. Misdemeanor charge, yes, but the article in the local paper didn't soften the blow. Headline was bland, local woman charged in property damage incident. But the picture attached wasn't. Amanda trying to hide her face walking out of the courthouse. She looked like someone who just realized the world didn't revolve around her anymore. What made it worse was that the story included the detail about the victim being a family member, following a domestic dispute involving a cancelled holiday trip. People connected the dots. Especially since Amanda had gone around town for weeks whining about missing her vacation. She was the one who wouldn't shut up about it. Now everyone knew why it had fallen apart. My mom apparently lost it when she saw the article. Not because Amanda had done something wrong, but because people knew. Then things got worse. The gas company shut off their service for non-payment. I had cancelled the automatic payments 2 weeks earlier, and they hadn't caught up. My mom posted on Facebook asking if anyone knew a reliable handyman who could check the furnace. Diane called me laughing. There was nothing wrong with the furnace. They just didn't have heat. Next came the internet. My dad called Diane directly, asking if she could lend him $100, just for a few days. He said their connection got shut off and he was trying to stream the playoffs. Diane asked him what happened to the arrangement with me. He said I was being difficult. Diane forwarded the whole conversation to me. At the bottom of her text she wrote, "Let them freeze." Then came the part one didn't expect. One night I got an email from the resort. Not a form email, a personal message from Kendra, the same woman I'd spoken to before. She told me Amanda had shown up at the resort in person with her husband, trying to book a last-minute room. She brought printouts of my old itinerary and claimed she had approval to stay under my reservation. Kendra flagged it immediately and told them they'd been blacklisted after the last incident. Apparently Amanda made a scene in the lobby, yelled at the staff, claimed family should always come first. Security had to walk her out. She never even made it past the front desk. So there they were, standing outside a luxury beach resort, no room, no reservation, no trip. While Lily and I were packing sunscreen and flip-flops, they were being escorted out into a parking lot by hotel security. That's when I realized something. I didn't even feel angry anymore. Not even satisfied. Just done. I think karma works slowly, but when it arrives it doesn't just knock. It walks through the front door and sits down like it owns the place. I'd spent years holding everything together. Holidays, trips, bills, favors, all of it done quietly because I thought it was the right thing to do. Because I thought they were family. But they showed me exactly how they saw me. And how they saw Lily. They excluded her. Lied to her. Mocked her. Then slashed my tires and thought I'd come crawling back because they were cold and bored and missed their beachside drinks. Instead they got each other. That's all they ever wanted. Let them have it. When our flight took off I didn't look back. Lily had her little strawberry print sun hat pulled down low and her face pressed against the window, watching the clouds float past like it was the most magical thing she'd ever seen. She didn't know it, but I'd spent the last few days double-checking every confirmation, every reservation. I didn't want one single thing to go wrong. This was our first real vacation, just the two of us, no one else to ruin it. When we landed the air was warm and salty and soft. The kind of weather you don't realize you've been missing until it hits you. The resort was even better than the pictures. I splurged on a suite with an ocean-facing balcony, something I never would have done in the past when I was paying for 6 other people. But this time it was just for us. Lily picked out her side of the bed, then immediately put on her swimsuit and asked if we could go to the pool before we even unpacked. So we did. Every morning started with room service, banana pancakes and fruit smoothies. Every night ended with us curled up on the balcony, watching the sun drop into the sea. It was quiet, gentle, perfect. Meanwhile back home things were unraveling. Aunt Diane kept me updated not because she was stirring the pot, she was just fed up too. She told me Amanda's husband had finally packed a bag and left. He'd moved in with his brother after one too many fights. Amanda had been melting down ever since the failed resort stunt, and apparently she'd been blaming everyone but herself. He got tired of the chaos. Said he needed space. Then came the cherry on top. My parents' property tax bill went unpaid long enough to incur a penalty. The notice arrived just as their power was getting threatened with shutoff. Diane said my mom had a minor meltdown on the phone, sobbing that, "Ashley's really doing this to us." To them. Like I hadn't been paying their bills for 2 years. Like I hadn't covered groceries, trash pickup, heat, Wi-Fi, all while they stood by and watched my daughter get iced out of Christmas like it was a joke. Diane didn't let her off easy. She told my mom flat out, "You pushed her out. And you don't get to cry about the consequences now." After that, Diane and I talked more. She asked if we were enjoying the trip. I sent her a picture of Lily in her floaties, holding a virgin pina colada and laughing so hard she had to wipe her eyes. Diane replied, "She'll remember this, you know. Not the hurt. This." And that hit me. Because she's right. Lily will remember the way I chose her. The way we left. The pancakes at night. The ocean. The safety. The peace. The fact that when people who were supposed to love her didn't, I did. Loudly. Without apology. She'll remember that I didn't make her go back into that house and smile at people who hurt her. She'll remember that her mom didn't just stand there when the room laughed. She'll remember who stayed. On our last night we sat out on the balcony. The sky was pink and soft, and Lily asked if next year we could come back again. I said we could go anywhere she wanted. She thought for a second then said, maybe we can bring Aunt Diane. She's not fake. That made me smile. Because in the wreckage of losing most of my family, I found something better. The quiet honesty of a smaller circle. One person who showed up who didn't make excuses, who stood up and said that was wrong. We got home 2 days ago. I unpacked slowly. I went through my accounts and made sure nothing had slipped through the cracks. No new payments. No automatic drafts. Nothing left to clean up. Amanda still hasn't reached out. Neither have my parents. But I don't expect them to. Their version of family was built on conditions. On who gives, who pays, who stays quiet. Mine isn't. Mine is pancakes at midnight and pink hats and peace. Mine is just me and Lily, and we're doing just fine. The first update. A few weeks after we got home, something unexpected happened. The good kind of unexpected. I got a call from the school district. At first I thought it was the usual stuff. Enrollment forms, upcoming events, something bureaucratic. But the woman on the phone asked if I had a minute to talk about Lily. She said one of Lily's teachers had nominated her for a district-wide art showcase. Apparently, while we were on vacation, Lily had been working on a little painting she titled, Me and My Mom at the Ocean. She brought it into school on the first day back, totally unprompted, and told her teacher it was from her best week ever. I didn't even know she'd submitted it. They picked her as one of 10 kids in the whole district to be featured in the Spring Gallery downtown. Her painting will be framed and displayed at a public exhibit, and they invited both of us to the opening night. I didn't cry on the phone. But I did after I hung up. Not just because I was proud. But because after everything, after the silence, the exclusion, the slashed tires, the guilt, Lily's light was still shining. Brighter than ever. He's okay. We're okay. And now, a little piece of that beach trip, that quiet healing week that changed everything, is going to hang on a gallery wall for strangers to see. Just a mom and her daughter at the ocean. Smiling. No one else in the frame. And that feels perfect.